thoughts yesterday on Team USA, that game, and Jayson Tatum once again getting benched?
My overall thoughts on the team are I really have not been impressed with what Steve Kerr has done in terms of getting the group to assimilate and become a cohesive team. I mean, you could really see the difference there, the way that Serbia would get Team USA into rotation using Jokic and create open shots, whereas with Team USA offensively, it just felt like it was a lot of ISO, some kind of lackadaisical pick and roll, a lot of your turn, my turn. And really the team that played the best was Serbia and deserved to win. Also, it was shocking to me just to see, look, Joel Embiid was immense in that game. He played really, really well. But most of the time he's played, and not to get overly technical, when he gets put in the pick and roll, it's drop coverage because he can't really get out there and defend. You have Bam Adebayo, who was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. The last 2-3 minutes of that game, Serbia needs threes, and they're trying to create switches. And Bam's on the bench. Like, you easily could have done offense, defense substitutions, and he waited until there was like 58 seconds left to do it. I mean, it just felt like he was asleep at the switch. So overall on the team, I have not been impressed. But even though I really like Steve Kerr as a coach, I just have not been impressed with what he's done with Team USA. In terms of Tatum, complete non-factor. I said that on BST with you and Andrew Callahan on Tuesday. I mean, that's what it is, and I don't expect it to change in the gold medal game. I don't think he's going to have a Steph Curry game or any of that. He didn't play against Serbia in the group play game. He didn't play in this one. He was the 11th guy off the bench against Brazil in the quarterfinals. He's a complete non-factor, and frankly, this participation in the Olympics has dinged and diminished his brand a little bit. I think this is a guy people were looking at and saying, he's the next guy when LeBron's gone. It's like Tatum's the face of the league. Well, you can't show up at this thing and get benched and then be the face of the league. And, now his mother is talking on social media and is a little bit upset about it, which is, again, I understand. I mean, she has a point, but that's not a great look for Tatum either.
So, again, just to land the plane on that, Dick Vitale, of all people, tweets out, someone please let me know, is Tatum injured as he hasn't received playing time? Tatum's mom responds, no, he not. If you find out what's going on, please let me know. Unacceptable and makes no sense. So when the moms get involved, it's game on, Murray.
And just from a marketability standpoint, if I was a high-ranking Nike exec, I would be out of my mind with these Olympics.
Good point.
You've seen more of Snoop Dogg than Jayson Tatum at the effing Olympics over the last couple of weeks. It's a fact, and the Nike has done their best to help prop him up as the second coming in terms of their branding, and he's part of the Jordan brand as well. We all know he's all over these commercials. He's part of the reigning NBA championship team. He might not have won the MVP, and Brown was the better player, obviously, in the playoffs, but still, Tatum's the guy for Nike, and his ass is on the bench and barely playing throughout this whole thing. You're right, Chris. Like, it's dinged his branding, if nothing else.
I mean, I just can't. I was just going to say, I just can't believe what has transpired for Jayson Tatum over the last 3 or 4 months, where these were supposed to be his moments when he arrived, one of the faces of the franchise in the NBA, and Jaylen Brown outshines him in the postseason, in the conference finals, and the NBA finals. Then he goes to the Olympics where he's with the best of the best, and he's getting benched. I mean, what a fall from grace. And it's not a fall from grace. That's strong, but you know what I mean. But I just wonder Jayson Tatum's mentality. First of all, I think it's fantastic for the Celtics about what's happened, between the playoffs and now with the Olympics, because if Jayson Tatum is any type of competitor, which I know that he is going to come back with a vengeance. That this is what people think of me, and so that's great for the Celtics. But I would love to have a penny for his thoughts on what's going through his mind right now.
Well, this whole thing was supposed to be basically a coronation victory lap for him, and really it's been the opposite. And I'm sure he's frustrated, and it is a little strange, too. I mean, you would think against Serbia. I mean, I thought against Serbia this second time, man, if there were ever a game where Jaylen Brown had a point that you needed him on the roster, they needed, better wing defense with a little more size. But you could also make that case for if there were ever a reason to say, well, you have to at least give Tatum a shot, is that his ability to be a switchable defender there, I think, could have helped them and at least give him an opportunity. But he is just entrenched as the 11th man on this team. I mean, is there a Jordan Brand bench colorway? Because that should be the next colorway of his shoes, because he's just entrenched on the bench with Kerr. I don't know what he did to Kerr or what the deal is, but Kerr seems completely disinclined to even give him like an opportunity. And I thought in the game yesterday, that was a situation where you should have, if things weren't going well, you should have at least given Tatum an opportunity, and he didn't give him a sniff.
Okay, quickly, Chris, thoughts on the New York Post report that Henry and the Fenway Group is mulling a serious run at the Celtics?
Yeah, I would say that's not great. That could be not great for a lot of us that do NBC Sports Boston.
Oh my God! So I didn't even consider that.
Yeah,
put him on Nessic, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. You might be out of one of your copious paychecks, Felger.
More Bruins.
but I just think the whole idea of it at this juncture, it becoming part of a conglomerate is not great, because we all know they're going to incur those ridiculous luxury tax costs going into the second apron to try and extend this thing and keep this team together. And when you're part of a conglomerate, you're part of an investment group, and there's a responsibility to the investors for ROI and that type of stuff. Like, it's kind of hard to justify paying what would need to be paid to keep this team together. So for that reason alone, I would say this would be bad. And then again, all of us have some personal reasons in this market that this would maybe not be the best for everyone involved.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.